First of all, Alphonso, how are you feeling today?
I feel good. Feeling better than, obviously before. Started doing some light ball work today. Started doing some, changing directions. Yeah, recovery's going well, and yeah, I'm feeling good.
Obviously, we're crowding around because there was a clip that came out yesterday that said you were not certain that you were going to play on the 12th. Do you kind of want to clarify where you're at right now physically and what the prospects are that you will play in that first game?
Yeah, I mean, the first game is it's coming up pretty quickly. I think the thing we've talked about, as me and the coach and, the people that were in that meeting, I think we understand how important the first game is, but they understand, recovery is always an important thing. If I'm recovering, as good as possible, let's see. If not, then, there's no need to rush. Just keep continuing the recovery.
So it's a possibility that we can leave it at a possibility?
I mean, anything is possible in life. I mean, for me, it's like, all depending on how the recovery is going, how these next few days or this week leading up to the game goes.
How do you balance the emotions? You signed a contract last year, and certainly you've gone through a year of unfortunate injuries, and everyone can understand the amount of priorities that you have. But how are you balancing that, knowing that there are a lot of eyes in this country on you, and many people who are excited and expecting you to lead Canada out at some point during this World Cup?
Yeah, I think for me, there's no pressure. I mean, football is a 26-man game. We count on everybody on the team. Obviously, the last 12 months has been, up and down. But yet again, I mean, that's part of the game. I have to, stay focused and have a strong mentality and keep pushing.
What are you waiting for? I guess what needs to happen for you to feel like?
What needs to happen? I mean, the injuries just disappear, I guess. I don't know what to say. I think, yeah, just doing the recovery and seeing how I'm feeling each day.
Alphonso, Jesse had mentioned even before you joined the team in Edmonton, he kind of wanted you to take a couple days to yourself to kind of reset and join the team. Were you able to do that?
Yes, of course. For me, mentally, it was very draining. Suffering these injuries. Yeah, I think it's nice to just step away and reset your mind and and think of how far you came, and I was going into a hole where I was doubting myself, but I had that time off, and I thought about why I'm doing this and how important this is to me.
Did you have a moment when you doubted whether you'd play in the World Cup, and what was that like for you?
Yes, of course. It was devastating. Obviously, when the injuries happen, you start doing the mathematic. For how long you're going to be out? Yeah, obviously it was a doubt in my head, for sure. I was sad. Being a 7-year-old kid going to Russia and getting this World Cup to our country and not being able to participate. It dawned on me. But yet again, I know how strong my body is, and I know how strong the individuals around me, and they'll push me to come back as safely as possible.
So and the vibe with this group, in terms of building up to a big event, how does it compare to building up for Champions League finals or building up for Copa America and things you built up to in the past?
I mean, it's obviously a different situation with that one. One, you're representing a whole country. You wear your country on your badge, you wear your name on your back, and the country's behind you. The other one is, obviously the club team you play for. Everybody wants to be leading their team or the country. Outside of the big tournament. It goes hand in hand, but yet again, it have its own importance in different aspects of the game, for sure.
So then, can we assume then that when you did that interview, that you were of the mindset at that point and where you were physically, that you might have thought that you weren't going to play that game, and that you're at a different mindset and place now because of where you are physically?
Yes, of course. I mean, when it happened, obviously, me and Jesse had a lot of conversations. Was I doubting myself? Of course. I mean, I was in a hole where my head wasn't, on right. I wasn't thinking about the bigger picture. I was just thinking about how I feel in that moment. And obviously, we still had time to get the recovery going. And yeah, we'll see what happens over the next couple of days, I guess.
Alphonso, if you don't play on the 12th, how do you expect to do that role of a leader? Like, do you have any words that you want to say to the team before the game, and do you expect to be on the bench for that game?
Yeah, if I'm not there on the 12th, I mean, I'll be there with the guys. Maybe not on the pitch, but off the pitch. Yeah, obviously, I'll give them the words of encouragement that they need. But yet again, they all understand how important the World Cup is in general. There's not much I can say to motivate them more. Them just being in the World Cup and being able to play in front of the country and for the country is motivation enough.
You mentioned that. Sorry, go ahead. When you're not playing, when you're not able to contribute on the pitch. How do you view your role as a captain with this team?
Yeah, I view my role as, being the guy that try to have a conversation with everyone, try to see where everyone's head's at and help them, whatever they want. Try to, if they have questions, they ask me. If they don't, I just let them, be themselves and go out there and do what they need to do.
How good does it feel to have the Canada crest back on and be out there with the guys, even though you're kind of training alone, to kind of be out here?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, obviously, it's not good training alone, but yet again, it's part of the sports and seeing them, train and seeing them how well they're doing, it puts a smile to my face. This team's an amazing team. Every single player here, understands their role at the national team, understand how big this tournament is, and they're proving it for sure in training.
You mentioned that hole a few times. You've never really spoken like that. How did you get out of that hole?
Yeah, I think my support group around me. I have a lot of good support group around me and people around me that motivate me and keep my head up. At the end of the day, it's just it was tough, but like I said, I have people around me that motivate me and push me.
What was it? Was it
Guys, last one.
What hamstring was it? We saw you get emotional over the course of the first couple with your right and then your left. When was the lowest point?
I think the most recent one. I mean, there are low points. They're all low point, but I think the most recent one was very low because, it's like, when you're feeling good, when you're playing good, and then something happens. But yet again, that's what happens. I was told this when I got my ACL injury that, if you have to do everything you can to be stable. I mean, you're going to suffer low muscle injuries here and there. Most of the players that I know that had ACL, they told me the same thing. And and I saw it, and I think the last one I had was very emotional, because I was good, then I came back, then I was good again, then something happened. So, overall it's tough, but I'm out of that hole now, and I'm recovering well and doing everything I can do to stay healthy.
Do you find solace in the fact that the team has been playing well for you, even though you were not there for the last year?
Sorry, one more time?
Do you find solace in the fact that the team has developed a way to play, even though you were not there for the last year?
The way the team was thinking about it.
Yeah, are you happy with that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, me on the pitch, these guys will do their job, and they'll play for their country, and they'll play for one another. I don't think they really need me on the pitch to prove that they're a good footballing team. I mean, you see it, the last 12 months, they've been playing really well overall, going places like Wales and stuff like that, getting results, and they're incredible footballers and incredible human beings as well.